Hey, welcome to this episode of MarKENECT TV. This is Taylor at MarKENECT, and I'm going to sit on my couch and teach you guys how to do marketing because I work from home and I have the luxury of doing so. So, here's my iPad. Just like always, we're going to get into some cool stuff today. We're going over email part 2 because I made the first part of email and it was very basic. So this next one is going to be much more advanced. You might have to take some notes, but that's okay because that's what we're here for anyway. There was a cough for you, and I'm just going to turn this off and go right into my iPad. Alright, so I turned off the camera over there, and now it's time for me to get into email. So we're basically just going to get into exactly what you need to do to create your email list, and basically what needs to go into all of the background to get the email list set up. So, one, I'm going to go through a few little tools that you're going to need. One, you're going to need an auto responder. An autoresponder is basically a piece of software, a service, like a piece of software that you can get on the internet that will store the emails that you capture and then allow you to broadcast to them and allow you to essentially make an auto-responded sequence of emails that come out on a timed basis. Most businesses, especially if you're just doing a newsletter, don't need the autoresponder part. You just need to make sure that you have a list and that you can broadcast to it. So I'm going to show you some tools that are probably the most efficient that you could use for that specific situation. So that's number one. Number two, you're going to need a website, obviously. I assume everybody has a website. If you don't have a website at this point and you're a business, you're a licensed business doing, sales on a regular basis, you don't have a website. So I don't know what else to say to you, but you need a freaking website. Come on now. So you need a website because you're going to put that form. If you haven't seen the email basics video, then go back there. I was talking about a form that people put on their website. You're still going to put that form on there, basically like a little piece of code that people can that looks really nice and people can enter their email in there. You're going to still put that on your website, but you're going to do that in a different way. Number three, you're going to need your bribe. You're going to need your bribe or your bait, or whatever you want to call it, whatever sleazy sales thing you want to call it. That's basically what you're going to need. You're going to need your bribe, your ethical, moral bribe that you're going to give to people for their email address. Because you don't want to just ask people for their email address without giving them anything. It doesn't work, obviously. It just does not work at all. So you're going to want to make sure you give people something in return for their email address. And you're going to need to create that bribe. We're going to get into how to do that as well. And then let's think of another one, emails. Just, you have to create emails, of course. So I'm just thinking of all the other things. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to get into these 4 things today on how to create them, how to get them done, and basically the little processes that have to do with it. So one, we're going to get into the autoresponder. So this is basically a piece of software that you sign up for. Usually you have to pay some odd amount of money, from $5 to $25 a month, which is actually really good for what it's going to get you. Very, very good for what it's going to get you, to be completely honest. So that right there is a very small investment. But what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to broadcast to all of your email lists at one time. So you won't have to email individually each person. You're just going to have to make one email and then send it to everybody all at one time. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up an account with one of these few different autoresponders, and I'm just going to give you a few of them. MailChimp, right? You can go to MailChimp. This is one of the cheaper ones. In fact, I think it even might be free if you don't want to use the autoresponder feature and you just want to do the broadcasting, which is perfectly fine for most businesses. But say you want the autoresponder feature, you can go to GetResponse if you want. If I can even spell response right. GetResponse. And then there's also, the one I like to use is Market Hero. That's just because I really like the person who created it, and it's a really good software. This one's advanced. I'm going to put a little star by it because it's an advanced thing. that it's going to take a little while to learn, but it's really, really, really cool. I thought I might as well throw it out there. The number one that is used for small and local businesses, brick and mortar stuff, is usually MailChimp, just because it's so easy, cheap if not free. I don't remember if it's free anymore, but it used to be at one point, and it's really just you get to build a list of people and you get to email that list whenever you want, broadcasting. It won't let you create an auto-responded sequence, but you can just broadcast it. So go to any of these websites. It'll be MailChimp.com, GetResponse.com, and then MarketHero.io. I think it's MarketHero.io. And you can sign up to any of those. So we're going to move on to number 2 is your website. That's a terrible W. Website. So we need to make sure that our website is, one, existent, 2, done well for mobile. Even if you have a website, even if I'm barking up, a tree that already has a website, you're going to want to make sure that you have it mobile optimized. And you can do that very easily with what is called WordPress. WordPress is a plugin that you can download to your website that basically takes over all editing controls, and you can do it all by yourself without anybody to help you. It has a learning curve to it. It took me a couple of months to really, really, really hone down, and master WordPress. But if you're willing to put the time in, then you can, do that. Do WordPress. You could always also get it developed, but that's going to cost some money. I'm going to put money right here. You can always get it developed for you, but it's going to cost you some cashola. That O is terrible. These two options are both great. They're both fine. They'll both work. It just depends on what you want to do. So, what do you do with the autoresponder and the website? How do you marry the two? So essentially what you're going to do, I'm going to do this from the standpoint of WordPress because I know about WordPress more than I know about developing websites. I like to use WordPress because it's just easier. So we're going to do that. So using WordPress, all you're going to have to do is you have your page that you're editing here. So essentially what you're going to do, say this is the front end of your site. Here's the nav bar. Here's that banner that I was talking about in the first video, right? With your little stuff, I don't know, pictures, whatever. Essentially what you're going to do is you have this space right here, right? This space right here that most people fill up with a bunch of junk that doesn't matter. What you're going to want to do with this space right here is you're going to want to basically ask them a question. Ask them if they want some specific piece of advice, piece of value that's going to improve their life in some way, and is aimed towards their interests, is aimed towards what you do in your industry and stuff like that. You're going to make a form, and it's going to ask a question. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. It's going to ask a little question, right? And then you're going to have the box where people put their email in, and this is where they write it. And here's the button that's going to send them over to your email list. That's going to put them onto your email list. So what that looks like is just a little box right here. I can probably even I'll just link some type of picture of some example that I can find that has a really good email autoresponder box that you can see. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to create, this is where you put your PDF or your webinar or whatever it is. Again, go look at the first video in this little series, in the email series. It'll teach you how to, what you can do to get people to actually sign up to this. And this is where you put your bribe, right? This is where you put the title to your bribe. This is where you bribe them, right here. So this is where you bribe them, and then you ask for them to put their email in this box here. And it really just works like magic once you find the right bribe. I'm going to give you a quick pointer that most people are never going to tell you. Test a bunch. Test a bunch of bribes. Test multiple. So right off the bat, don't put this on the front page of your website. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a separate page. I'm going to just make a quick example. This is something I called call a landing page. I'm just going to put LP for landing page. And it's basically just a little express page that has, some text that bribes them, has the email box, and then has the opt-in button. This is just colored just so you know that it's the button. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to make 3 to 4 of these different things, testing a bunch of different bribes, and that's going to make sure that you have the best bribe that's out there. I know this sounds like a lot, but this is honestly what it takes to really, really blow it up with your email list. This is what it takes to get thousands and thousands of people on your email list. And it's something that you're going to really, really want to invest in because it's just such a big deal. If you look at the first video, the video that I made before this, I explained how much of a big deal it is to actually have an email list, and it really is just a huge deal. So I actually did just talk about the bribe that was down there, but I'm going to go into bribes a little bit further here. How to actually create your bribe. I'm going to make this fast because I don't want this video to be too long. How to make your bribe. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to find 3 to 4 subjects in your industry, and you're going to write about them. I'm going to teach you how to do a PDF because that's the easiest one. The other ones, maybe I can get into them later, but just for the sake of time, I'm going to tell you how to do a PDF. What you're going to do is you're going to find 3 or 4 subjects on your industry that you want to write about. You're going to open Keynote or whatever, whatever presentation slide software you use. I use Keynote, so open Keynote, etc. And then you're going to write about the subject. 3 to 4 graphic induced pages. So pages with graphics on it, pictures, colors. The text doesn't have to be small, so you don't have to write too much about it. You just want it to be informational. I'm going to put in red right here. Informational. Something that actually gives value. Value. You want value and you want information. Those are very, very important aspects to this. And it's very, very easy to do. You just find, 3 or 4 subjects on your industry, which should be easy for you because you freaking work in your industry. So you'll be able to find that very easily. And then write about those things and then test them like this. Make a little landing page on your WordPress site. I'll teach you how to do all that stuff later. This is basically just an outline. You can also, just do a simple YouTube search on how to create landing pages, how to create bribes and stuff like that. Very easy. And then emails, that's the last one. All right, so emails. We're moving on to the last step. And with your emails, talk about news in your industry, talk about news in your industry, in the world, if it can pertain to your industry, if you can make it pertain to what your business sells, then you talk about what's going on in the world. You basically just want to create a newsletter, essentially, is what it is. Your emails can also be your events when you're having them, / like monthly deals or something like that. You just don't want to cheapen your brand by giving too many deals. You want to give a lot of value in the way of news, like I said right here. You want to do that more so than give deals, because then it can cheapen your brand if you're just giving deals on deals on deals and stuff like that. And then events are going to be a big part as well, because where else can you literally contact everybody that would be interested in going to an event and send them to an event? Where else would you be able to do that? Besides doing really in-depth Facebook targeting that not very many people know how to do, that's pretty much impossible. So it's a really, really powerful thing to be able to, blast your events to people and provide constant value to a list of people that is interested in your industry. That's the power of email. That's how you do emails, and hopefully we can see everything. Well, you can't see everything, but that's the power of emails right there. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was long, but I wanted to get into kind of the technical stuff of creating an email list and all that. So If you enjoyed this, give this video a share, give it a like. I want to share the love to other people who can use this stuff to improve their business as well. So that's pretty much it. This was Taylor at MarKENECT. I hope to see you in the next MarKENECT TV. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later.